Hey Gemini, what's up gang? Hope everybody is well. We're gonna go ahead and look into your full moon reading, okay? So if that's something that interests you, do stick around. Gemini, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Jessica. Please take a look at my description box. That's gonna have any information that you would need to know. And yes, this is a Gemini channel. However, if you vibe your tribe, so go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Gemini, if you're returning, welcome back. I hope that you're well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. I do hope that you're doing what's best for you, boo. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Gemini, thank you for all the good vibes. It really does mean the world, okay? All right, guys, a couple things before we get into this. First of all, yes, the sun is shining in. Yes, it's very bright. Yes, it looks makes some of this look washed out like my hand, and I'm sure it'll do it with cards too. I'll try to make sure you guys can see everything, but I moved some plants into my office, and this room only has one window and it doesn't get light all day because of where it's positioned. And so when the sun comes in, we got to let the plants soak up the light. So we're going to have to make sacrifices around here for the greater good. Okay. Also, it's funny because I have some dragon's blood burning in like a little cone incense off to the side, and it's doing like this swirl vortex type of thing. I don't know if that's because of the fan in here or what. I'm not somebody that naturally just always attributes something to the paranormal or the supernatural, but just, you know, we're about to start a reading. It just feels like with the vortex, there could be something like that going on. So just take that as it resonates. Okay. Now, this full moon is the full moon in Aries. It is the October full moon. It should be on the 6th around like 11:48 at night or something like that. I am filming this a couple days in advance. As you guys know, the full moon really affects me heavily. And so I don't like to film like on the full moon because I'm all like over the place more than usual. So we're going to get into this. This is known as the hunter's moon or the harvest moon. Okay. And it does represent abundance. It represents like a closing up of cycles and an accumulation of everything that we've kind of, grown or we've created, right? The harvest essentially, but it actually does have really good vibes to it. So let's see. Okay. Let's see what the messages are. Now for your intuitive message, we do have the clean slate, a fresh start, a clear palette, right? You can create anything that you want to. This is also my Matrix loading room card. In the Matrix, they go into that white room and basically they can load things in for them. And there could be something like that where you're in this energy right now of being able to create whatever future you want for yourself. You're in this energy of being able to have an abundant future. So you choose. Okay. So let's see what we have here. Let's pull some cards from the Moonology. For this full moon in October, Spirit, the full moon in October, what do we have for them? What is Gemini going to be experiencing, going through? What messages do they need to hear for this full moon in October, please? Oh, that's going to be a little bit too much for me. Full moon in October. Oh, moly. Okay. We'll take it. It's the full moon in Capricorn. It says the end of a tough cycle approaches. Make sure you guys can see it, because it is going to go down here. All right. So Capricorn energy could definitely be significant here, but you've been going through something. You have really been forging ahead and trying to make some kind of headway, trying to make some kind of progress when it comes to something. And what Spirit is saying here is that you're actually making an impact. And the end of this tough cycle, whatever it is that you've been going through, is going to end. Capricorn makes me think about restriction. It makes me think about lessons, right? Discipline. And so you could have been going through a tough period of restriction or having to learn a lot of lessons, maybe a lot of karmic lessons, because obviously Capricorn in the tarot is attributed to the devil card. So there could be a lot of karmic lessons you've been going through, maybe needing to cleanse out some of those lower level things so we can have our energy free to experience, higher things, right? Things of a higher vibration. So this could definitely be very possible here, but you are ending a tough cycle. Okay. Like this is closing out for you. You're not going to be on the struggle bus for much longer when it comes to whatever this particular situation is. All right, what else do we have here for Gemini for this October full moon? The spookiest moon of all. Right? A new romantic cycle begins. That's scary. So yeah, for some of you guys with the time to release negativity, there could be something new opening up in the area of romance. This is the new moon in Libra. Whatever this connection is that's coming in, or whatever this new cycle is, because maybe it's a new cycle within a romantic connection that already stands. This doesn't have to be somebody, brand spanking new. You could already be in a connection and it's like we're moving to a new cycle of our relationship. But whatever this is talking about, it's talking about it being very fair and balanced with the scales. It's talking about both of you guys giving equally to a situation. And because of that, it's like things can move very smoothly, right? When we're both on the same page, when we're both showing up, when we're both consistent, when we're both putting in effort and communicating and being honest, it's like there's no reason why the connection, the relationship, whatever, shouldn't move forward smoothly. Okay. Maybe there has been a lot of restriction here, or maybe there's been some fighting, some arguing. Maybe both of you guys had to have a period of learning some tough lessons, and that to me really does highlight a very strong soulmate, is when just by their nature, just by the interaction that you have with somebody, they teach you about yourself, they help you grow, they help you evolve and change, even if they're not trying to. It's just that this person came in and they taught me so much, and because of them, I grew, I evolved, right? That is, to me, a signal of a strong soulmate. So yes, there's something new, romantic wise, that could be showing up in your life around this full moon. Okay, Gemini, watch out now. It does say time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. So any kind of negative energy, it's time to release that, especially when it comes to this new connection or this new cycle, right? It's like we're letting go of the past, we're moving on, we're letting bygones be bygones, or we're not going to keep dwelling on the same thing. Like, there's nothing worse that when you're with somebody and, things have happened and you guys have forgiven each other and decided you're going to move on, but then it's always getting brought up, or it's always still getting rubbed in my face, or I'm always still having to atone for that, even though you said you forgive me, right? This is the energy of we're really going to release this now. We're not going to stay stuck. Also, with this card, we see the Scorpion, and we see that it's kind of stinging itself here. And I did that on purpose with the white because I embellished this card a little bit, as I do with a lot of my cards. You guys notice I like to write on my cards. And I wanted it to look like the Scorpion was stinging itself, because sometimes we are our own worst enemies. And Scorpio energy is beneath the surface, right? It's like the hidden, deeper, suppressed stuff that doesn't really want to come up sometimes. And so sometimes that can be our own worst enemy, is that we're not able to let go of our own toxic traits, our own negative cycles that impact others. And for some of you guys, there could be something where either you or somebody else had some, or both of you guys had some negative stuff inside that needed to be cleansed, that needed to be healed before you connected with somebody else, because not cleansing or healing these things will ultimately be triggered in the connection. And so this has either happened or this has been healed so this doesn't happen. All right. Let's see what we have here. One more card from this deck, please. One more for my Gemini gang for the October full moon. What can we expect? We have Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back, the South Node. Right? Okay. And then on the bottom of the deck, we do have Nothing Will Come of This Situation, Void of Course Moon. I'm getting a couple messages with this. First of all, we can't let our past hold us back, because if we continue to show up in the same way, make the same choices, handle things in the same way, right? It's like we are not going to see anything develop in whatever the situation is. It doesn't just have to be romance. It could be in a work situation, a personal situation, whatever. I'm still doing a general message right now, so this is not a romance reading or a career reading. It's just general. And it does feel like whatever, way that you have been showing up before, whatever action or effort you've been putting into things in the past, or how you always handle situations, we can't do that. We can't do that moving forward, because nothing will come of this. We have to move past the South Node energy. And the South Node is our comfort zone, right? The South Node is the familiar. And comfort zone, familiar, we think these mean positive things, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. You can be really comfortable in a crappy relationship because you know what to expect and you've gotten used to the toxicity, right? You live in a dumpster long enough, you're going to call it a home. So it's kind of like allowing ourselves to see that, that it's time to level up. It's time to move out of this South Node. It's time to advance. Okay. Also, another message I'm getting, and just really quickly before I forget, for some reason, Disney could be significant. Disney World, Disneyland, Disney animation. Maybe some of you guys like Disney, you work for Disney or something like that, okay? Well, anyways, moving on, just because that looks like... Anyways, the other message I'm getting for this is that Spirit is saying you can move beyond your past. You can allow yourself to have a fresh start, to have a clean slate, to jump into the new, okay? Because again, the end of a tough cycle, right? And the new romantic cycle begins, and something is not going to turn out the way that it turned out last time with the Nothing Will Come of This Situation. It's like kind of like judging your present or your future off of your past and being like, okay, well, that's the only way that that's the only possibility I have, Like, I've tried to open up this business before. I've done it a couple times and I keep getting the same results. So I'm definitely not going to try again, right? Or I've done romance. It's too much stress. I see those comments. It's too much stress. You know, it's too much. I don't want to do love. I want to be alone. You know, and it's like, fine, do you. That's fine. Whatever you want to do. But if you meet somebody that makes your heart go thumpity thump and you're like, don't immediately write that person off because it's too much stress. You don't even know this person, or you don't even know how this connection is going to go, right? Be open to the possibilities of life. Don't instantly shut people, places, things down because of what you've experienced. This is that energy of what do you need to release with the full moon in Scorpio that we saw, right? Because whatever you're holding on to with the South Node could really be holding you back, you know? It's like putting that leash or restriction on yourself and saying, nope, this is as far as I can go. And there could be something there with that. There could be like a lack mentality or something that we need to look at when it comes to what we feel like we're worthy of or what we feel like is achievable in our life, whether, again, it's in personal, professional, whatever, okay? Anything else from this deck before we put it up? I'm not going to keep the cards down, but I do want to just get some more messages from this deck. Anything else for this full moon? Oh, hold on. All right, I'm back. So we have the what do you need to release, waning moon. And then this is the new moon in Scorpio, work through your fears. And I do feel like this is literally spirit backing me up and being like, yup, like what she said, that was correct, you know? Because sometimes that's what it is. We can be our own worst enemy. We can really hold ourselves back. We can really sabotage ourselves from having great relationships, great experiences because of the fears of the past that we're holding on to. You know, this person, this thing in front of you is not the same person as your past, unless it is the same person. And if it is, then you have to express some kind of forgiveness and you really have to heal. And if you're not ready, then you don't need to entertain them again, right? So it's like knowing what you're capable of, knowing what you're ready for, and all that good stuff. We have on the bottom of the deck, the full moon in Gemini. Okay, gang, gang. The answers you need are coming. So you're going to get some kind of answer in regards to what you need to release, what's holding you back, what's stifling your energy. I always see that with this card right here, you know, the snowstorm. It's really thick, okay? And so it's like kind of like feeling claustrophobic, you know, feeling like I can't really move because I have all this stuff that's kind of holding me back. All right, let's see. Anything else from this deck before you put it up, Spirit? Anything else for Gemini for this full moon in October? I'm feeling the fall vibes, guys. I mean, it's not exactly fall here in Florida. It's still hotter than Satan's toenail. But I'm still feeling the fall vibes. Okay? I'm still feeling it. What do we have here? I'm like in soup season. Not that y'all care or give a fuck, but soup season is about to hit this household. Like I got all kinds of soup recipes I'm looking into. Anyways, any other messages? Oh, okay. We have don't let your pride get in the way. Full moon in Leo. I don't know. Like, Spirit's coming through with a message today, guys. The energy is gaining momentum. Yeah, Spirit's coming through with a message like, what do you want, what you don't want, you need to know. You need to be on the same page with yourself. You need to let tough cycles in. You need to release negativity. You don't need to stay stuck in your past. Your past ain't here no more. Unless it is. And if it is here, then you need to make peace with it or not. Okay. And also don't let your pride get in the way, because pride can also hold people back. Well, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of this or that, right? And it's like, what's more important? Stroking your pride or, you know, developing a connection or working on something or whatever, okay? Pride can also be on the other end of the pendulum here, where it's like we don't have enough pride. We don't feel like we're worthy. We don't feel like we are deserving of good things. So make sure you're balanced in your ego, okay? For sure. Make sure you're not letting your ego lead you away or towards things. Make sure that you're not trying to prove things or show people things or whatever, especially in connections. Because it does feel like for some of you guys, there could be something where it's like, we need to let go of the past here. Like, whatever this is. Like, I mean, you know, I don't know, you guys, right? There's so many of you guys watching me. I have no idea. So take it as it resonates, right? Do what's best for you. Don't just because the tarot lady on YouTube said this or that, that's law. you guys are self-governing people. You know what's best for you, right? The energy is getting momentum on the bottom of the deck. Something is picking up though. The pace is quickening here. You know, events are starting to speed up. We're getting closer to a certain point. Maybe this is a timeline of where you're going to be meeting somebody. You're getting dangerously close to where you're about to meet this person. You need to have all your shit in order, or maybe this is a situation with work or something. I don't know. Okay, there's something like that. Yeah, bring love into the situation. Spirit's like, no, you're right, Jessica. Because sometimes I doubt myself. You know, I'm human. New moon in Aquarius is interesting too, because we have the full moon in Aquarius on the bottom of the deck. It's like something's coming full circle here, and you got to bring love into this situation. You know, we got to pour it on thick. And show the world the real you. So be authentic. Show up authentically in this situations. All right, let's get some feelings. I actually meant to do this in the beginning of the reading, but I didn't. So let's get some feelings here. How is Gemini going to be feeling during this full moon in October? Ooh, that dragon's blood is strong. Okay. Whew. If y'all want to know where I get my incense, I get them from Holy Smoke Incense. It's an amazing company. I'm not sponsored, unfortunately. They have no idea who I am. But I've been ordering from them for like 6 years. Very consistent. It's homemade, handmade, small business. I think out of North Carolina or something like that. Their products are potent, strong. I love their products, and they have, you know, relatively okay prices. Like, you get what you pay for, especially in incense, right? Like, I've noticed that. Like, if you go the cheap route with incense, who knows what you're breathing in? And I feel like that's important when you're breathing in something, to have high quality, you know, stuff. So I'm just saying, this feels like it's turned into an ad, and it definitely isn't, but I'm just saying, Holy Smoke Incense if you want some good incense. Okay, let's keep it moving. What feelings do we have for Gemini gang for this October full moon? What are they going to be feeling under the full moon's light? Okay, we have let it go. Let it go. Okay. Maybe there is a need to let something go. We do see the end of a tough cycle, right? Don't let your past hold you back. A new romantic cycle begins. And this does not have to just be in like a relationship. This could be something that you're in love with, something that, you know, it makes your heart feel good. Like, you're really connected to whatever this new cycle is. We're not going to only exclusively make this about love. But yeah, there is a need to let go of something, okay? And this could even be harboring resentment, guilt. You know, we did see the don't let your pride hold you back, right? So there could be a need to... Okay, we're just going to put you there. There could be a need to not hold on to things of the past, you know? And it's funny too, because this bird carrying this flower, it's almost giving the energy of like the dove with the olive branch. I don't know. Take that as it resonates. What else do we have here? What is Gemini going to be feeling during this full moon? Some of y'all are going to finally let go of something from the past that maybe you have been feeling bad about. You know, like maybe you've been feeling upset that this person did you that way, or that you showed up in that way, or that this situation went down that way. And Spirit's saying, it's okay. It's okay. Things happen. This is experience. You're learning things as you go, right? You weren't given a blueprint. It's okay to make mistakes, but you have to let go of this because there's new things that are waiting for you, you know? And the longer that you hold on to these things or keep looking back with the coulda, woulda, shouldas, it's like we're not allowing the newness to step in, okay? What else do we have here for Gemini gang? What else do we have here? What are they going to be feeling during this full moon? We have at peace. I like to see it. Oh, interesting. Unknowing. And unknowing was on the bottom of the deck for the let go, and it's on the bottom of the deck again for at peace. And I meant to mention it. Some of you guys are going to be letting go, you know, holding on to expectations or outcomes, right? Expectations can be the devil. Trust me, as somebody who, you know, I can get sometimes caught up in my expectations, and it really does make things go kapooey for me, because I can be a little bit like Sergeant Slaughter sometimes. It's like, because if I don't get what I feel like I deserve, or if this doesn't go the way that I thought it should go, or whatever, I'm very like cutthroat sometimes. And I've been trying to learn to not be like that. Because, you know, sometimes we have to let life flow, right? We have to let things happen. But again, this is a learning experience, okay? I feel like you're at peace with whatever happens here. You're at peace. Maybe you have cultivated some sense of peace. Maybe you have learned to kind of let the reins go a little bit, or release the control a little bit, right? Learning to find that's one thing that's helped me out personally, is learning to find a safe space within myself. It doesn't matter if this person hurts me or plays in my face. It doesn't matter if this thing falls apart, or if this goes into the worst case scenario or whatever, because I have a safe space within myself. I am a mountain within myself. So I will withstand and be able to overcome anything that happens to me, right? And knowing that makes it okay. it makes it okay with the storms that come, right? The mountain doesn't fear the storms coming in on the distance. It knows that it's strong enough to withstand them. And it knows also that storms are just a part of life. So there's something here with being at peace with the unknown, letting go of the need to control, letting go of the need to, create a certain outcome, have a certain outcome, and just letting life flow is something I'm getting here. How is Gemini going to be feeling during this full moon? How is Gemini going to be feeling during this full moon, Spirit? We have joy and relieved. Wow, okay. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the wounded heart. Yeah, there's like a big healing energy, or there's like a joy or a relief, or like it's giving like a, okay, type of feeling. But I feel like you are going to be feeling some type of joy. So much joy is going to be spilling out that you can't contain it here. And with this star energy on the relieved card, it's making me feel like there's like hope restored in a situation or within yourself. Again, maybe with this wounded heart, maybe something stabbed your heart space, Gemini. Try to stay optimistic, even though you were stressed. Try to have gratitude, even though your dreams didn't come true. There's something here where it's like we're feeling hopeful. We're feeling hopeful, and I like to see it. Okay, let's get some clarity for this. I'm going to be able to see all of this. Okay, so the end of this tough cycle. What was this tough cycle for Gemini, first of all? What was this tough cycle? And please make it plain, Spirit, okay? I like to be quick and to the point. What was this tough cycle? 10 of Wands. Spirit's like, is that what you mean by quick and to the point? Yes, actually. Yeah, so you had a lot of burdens that you've been carrying, right? You've been trying to hold it together. This definitely feels like this is just in your everyday life. You might have a very heavy, strict kind of working schedule where there's very little room for, thinking or doing anything besides work. You might wake up first thing in the morning and you got to start answering calls or emails, or you have to be up very early, or you have to go here, you have to go there. Like before it's even lunchtime, you've went several different places, you've talked to several different people, you've answered several different phone calls and emails, and it's just like there's not really any time to like exhale or breathe. I'm kind of getting the energy of somebody who you go right, and you hold your breath at the beginning of the day and you don't get to really exhale until the end of the day when you get home, and maybe not even then. Like some of you guys might have to start turning off your phone, and it's so funny because like I talk about my last job a lot with you guys because it taught me a lot, and it was also one of the most stressful jobs I've ever had. Even though it paid me the best I've ever been paid in my life, it still wasn't worth it, okay? Because of all the stress that I had. Sometimes I felt so much stress, I just wanted to like go in a corner and cry. It was so bad. I remember telling my boss, like, I just don't feel like I have time for me. Like sometimes I'm on the phone with like principals of schools while I'm trying to cook dinner. I'm like burning my food in the background because I'm having to jump to my computer and look something up or send an email. And she's like, well, Jessica, just turn off the phone. And it's like, how do you do that? Like, how do you just turn off the phone? Like, I don't know. There needs to be some kind of healthy work-life balance here for some of you guys, okay? And you do need to just turn off the phone. Like if you have a work phone, turn it off, okay? If you have an email, close it down. Close your computer. Don't get back on your computer. Don't get back on your phone. Don't check into things. You're not on the clock right now. So what's her face, right? If they need you from work, or they can talk to you in the morning, I'll be back on the clock, 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever. But right now it's me time. Because some of you guys, this just has been a really tough cycle of feeling like I have to carry these wands up this hill every single day with no break, no stopping. Well, there's balance, there's justice that's coming through in a situation. Some of you guys, this could have been an argument, this could have been conflict that you were having with somebody or a group of people. Could definitely be like something legal, something that didn't seem fair, where maybe somebody was trying to take advantage of the system or get over on you, or they manipulated, they lied, forged documents. I don't know, there's something here with this justice energy where it's making me feel like justice wasn't in your favor for a while. Like it just didn't feel like things were working in your favor for a while. This cycle is ending. And we see that with the 10 of Wands, because the 10 of Wands is the end, right? The 10 in tarot is the end of a cycle. You held on, and you showed some gusto. I'm hearing you got moxie, kid. Okay. So I don't know if that's significant for somebody, but I'm feeling like you really did show some kind of tenacity, strength, and fortitude here, and we're able to move forward now. Knight of Swords, there could be some information that comes in very quickly. It could come in last minute here with this Knight of Swords. It's Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck. It's going to clear up some kind of indecision that you might have been facing. I'm like, where did it go? It fell. Yeah, maybe there was something involving other people. Or, you know, for some of you guys, there could have been a third party. Maybe that's what it was, is like, you know, trying to work with this person and they keep cheating on me, or they keep, like, you know, putting everything and everyone else above me. And it's like, you know, maybe you have to close that cycle out. It's hard. It's difficult because, you know, you care about somebody, but you have to care about yourself more sometimes, guys. You know, it's a tough thing. But there, whatever this is, it's like we're making some kind of quick decision here. And also, again, I feel like communication is coming in very quickly that's helping in this cycle. Yeah, and what's going to be happening is we have a new beginning now. You know, we do. One where we're very abundant. Somebody also around you could have been very burdened by their circumstances, by their work, by their family problems, maybe by community issues, maybe their own stuff. Like maybe they were going through some kind of existential crisis or something within themselves, right? They've almost battled this. And I feel like if this is talking about romance, somebody could want to offer you something. That's not for everybody, but for somebody it is. They see you as this Empress energy, male or female. They see you as worthy. They see you as independent, secure, flourishing, abundant, on your divine path, not giving a fuck, right? Hydrated, moisturized, lotioned up, okay? They're just seeing you looking really good, right? Like you're taking care of yourself. They also see you as somebody who can hold a nice capacity of love or warmth for a large amount of people at a time, right? Like you can give to other people. You are very nurturing. Maybe you were very nurturing to this person when they needed you at one point, you know? That's for somebody. Yeah, we're having a new beginning for sure, right? The Fool, the Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, even for me, talks about new beginnings because after the end, what's next? The beginning. So yeah, there's something where we're jumping off into something we're very passionate. We're feeling free too. We're not feeling as chained down because when I think about freedom, this is like the opposite card of that, you know? Like she is not free to decide, to make her own decisions, to breathe, right? It's just like she has to kind of, again, carry these wands up this mountain every single day. This is freedom. This is, I get to jump off the cliff of change. I get to take a chance. I get to do what I want. I get to make my own decisions. And this is definitely spirit led here with the Hermit card, Virgo energy coming through. Like this is something that is very divinely guided. So you've been divinely guided through whatever this tough cycle is. And whatever the information is, because didn't we see that with this deck at one point? The answers you need are coming. Could have swore we saw that. Whatever, that's what I'm getting with this Knight of Swords. It's like whatever answers you needed, whatever clarity you need, it comes in very quickly, but it helps you make a decision. It helps you be able to leap into a newness or a new opportunity or a fresh start, okay? All right, guys, let's keep it moving. So what is this new romantic cycle here for Gemini during this full moon? We have the King of Pentacles, and we like to see him, okay? We like to see the King of Pentacles. I feel like for some of you guys, you have had a lot of connections in the past that have maybe went out of their way to show you that you weren't worthy. Okay? Because I did see the Empress sticking out here. I don't know where she went. There she is. I saw it though. And it feels like, yeah, you've went into connections with people where it's like, well, I could commit to you. I could, but I don't know. You know, and I don't know if you're worthy. I don't know if somebody better is going to come along. I don't know. And it's like that translated to you as like, okay, well, I'm obviously not worthy, right? Or you don't think I'm good enough. And I feel like, again, keeping you as an option, keeping you as one of many, not really taking you or your energy or what you're bringing to the table very seriously. And the Empress brings a lot to the table. Like this is somebody who is going to love you, feed you, fuck you. Like she going to do everything. And really well too. So it's like, this is somebody who is a catch. You know, you are a catch, Gemini. And you might have been around people who just went out of their way to show you that you weren't a catch, or, you know, with by their actions or lack of actions or whatever. It's like, that's what they were basically saying to you because, you know, actions are a language, right? What we do or what we don't do, what choices we make, what choices we don't make, that's a language. And so I feel like that's something that you've experienced in the past is people treating you like an option, people treating you like you're one of many when really you're one of a kind. This is changing. I don't know if this is somebody from your past or if this is somebody completely new. let's not put a label on it. Let's just say whoever this is that's coming in with this King of Pentacles, this is somebody who is going to see your value and they're going to honor that. This is somebody who sees you as worthy of a connection or worthy of commitment, right? Because King of Pentacles, this is somebody who's very stable, somebody who's down to earth, somebody who's reasonable, realistic, somebody who is loyal, honest. I mean, he has the dog, right? Dog representing spirit for me, but dog also represents loyalty, right? Man's best friend. Dogs will never leave your side, right? Even when you treat dogs like crap, sad as it is, they're still going to be loyal to you. So this is somebody who is extremely loyal. And this is somebody who also is very divinely guided by spirit, which for some of you, I know it's important to me. Like, yeah, I want somebody that's connected to a higher power, you know? And so this person is connected to a higher power. This person has a purpose. They have a path. This person could also be very stubborn with that bull because it's giving Taurus energy, right? This person is kind of like, you know, I'm very stubborn. And maybe that's something where, I don't know, you guys might bump heads or somebody's going to have to yield or something like that. But there is that energy here of a stubbornness of like, this person knows what works for them. This person has, you know, developed a really abundant life, right? They could be wealthy, maybe not, but maybe they're on the way there, or they definitely have some kind of stability. Okay. Male or female, guys, this is the archetype that's showing up, has nothing to do with gender. So just take it as it resonates. And this is somebody who, they like to eat good foods. They like to drink good drinks. They like to enjoy life. They like music. They like, you know, going out to maybe museums or exploring new places, doing new things. They like to enjoy life, you know, with that Taurus energy. Taurus energy is very luxe, right? It's very comfortable. It's very lush. And that's how this person is. Okay, so can you give us more information about this new romantic cycle that's starting for Gemini gang? Now, Spirit's saying you might not meet this person on the full moon, okay? But this is what this full moon is bringing into your life. So, Judgment energy, which is Scorpio energy, okay? This person, yeah, with the world, because the world represents the end of a cycle. This person is coming in to represent a new era for you guys. Like, this person is coming in to represent the fucking standard, okay? Like, this is, like, it's giving that energy of, like, when you meet somebody and you're like, gee, golly, Wally, you're nothing like anything I've ever experienced before. You are completely new. Like, you know what you want. You have a good head on your shoulders, right? You got a nice career going, or you're very stable, you're honest, you're loyal, you're attractive, you're fun, you're nurturing, you're giving, you're this, like, you're all of the freaking things. And it can't help, like, it makes you sometimes look back, right, to the past, even though you really don't want to. And you really don't want, because we see that here, right? You really don't want to compare this person to your past, but it's like, it's hard not to, because your past just doesn't measure up, you know? And if at any point, you know, and especially if you already dealt with this person before, or you already know who this person is, if at any point your past did kind of come in and tempt you, or there was some kind of weird situation like that, it's like, that was definitely that scorpionic, unhealed bullshit that had its hooks in you that was really needing to let go, you know? And so there's something here where it's like, this person represents a standard and moving forward, right? The Judgment energy also, for me, talks about spiritual lessons and spiritual alignment and some kind of spiritual awakening. It's like, this person might come in during or after a very profound spiritual awakening. This person could be a catalyst to a spiritual awakening in your life. This person could make you want to level up, which for me is an amazing sign of a good soulmate. Like, if somebody wants to, like, if somebody in my life makes me want to be better, you know, whether that's emotionally, physically, mentally, like, that's a good sign for me, you know, like, that's because that's somebody that it's like, wow, you add value to my life and I want to expand, I want to grow, I want to be better, you know, that's a sign of a good soulmate. So there's something here like that going on, where not only is this person different than anybody that you've ever been with, and it almost feels like it's a dream, or it feels like, wow, it's like this person makes you want to be better than anybody you've ever been before as well. Like, I don't want to show up in this connection the same way that I showed up in past connections. I don't want to do this person the same way that I did other people. Or I don't want to react or make choices or whatever the same way that I've always been. I want something new and different because this person is new and different. Wow, this is really positive energy, guys, which we don't really look into love a lot, so I can't say that it's not like we don't get that a lot, but we really don't get readings like this very often. I'm just saying. Can I get something else for this? Then we're going to move on. Sad to say. 9 of Cups. Yeah, this person feels like a dream, or like they feel like wish fulfillment. They make you feel really good, basically. You know? Like, this is something that is very positive, and nothing can rain on your parade. Not even this little like weird moody Cancer energy over here, like this crab energy. Maybe there is a Cancerian that's going to see you happy with this person and be like, here I come to wreck the day. Okay. And you're going to be like, not today. Or your ancestors are going to give them a little pow pow. So you have the cats, you know, pow pow. I do feel like this is a protected connection. This is definitely one that is like, you were meant to meet this person, and your ancestors really want you to invest in this connection, and they're going to be damned if they let some raggedy, rusty, dusty, either person from the past or just a nameless energy, because, you know, that happens when you meet somebody significant. You will be tested, you will be tempted, right? Just like Jesus was tempted on the mountain by the devil, we will be tempted, right? And so you meet somebody amazing, and then all of a sudden this loose person is going to start flirting with you, or the office hoe is going to start doing this, or, you know, your ex that you fucking, for whatever reason, still has the hooks in you, is going to pop up on your phone. It's like, be aware of those temptations, because it does feel like this energy feels really positive. It feels really good. Okay. And if you are a masculine energy, this energy makes you want to step into the King of Pentacles. I'm hearing that song, You Make Me Better. I forget who sings that, but that's what I'm hearing. And I feel like this person does, right? It's like this person makes you want to be the King of Pentacles. They make you want to do the whole relationship thing and the life thing and the love thing and, you know, the romance and all that. Like, they make you want to. So it feels really positive, guys. It really does. And this is a very attractive person, whoever this is. Like, they are extremely attractive. They find you to be extremely attractive. This person could be a performer, or they do something where they get a lot of recognition just because of how she's posing. This person honors their ancestors too, because of how that flower is like falling down to the ancestor. It's like this person is definitely spiritually directed as well as you. 9 of Pentacles. I do feel like you guys have your own things going on as well. Like, you have not separate lives, but in a sense, like, yeah, you guys got your own thing going on, you know, which I feel like you find incredibly attractive, Gemini, because you like somebody who's ambitious, you know, or at least somebody who knows themselves, right? Like, you don't have to want to conquer the world, but do you know yourself, you know? And I feel like this person does. Okay, moving on. Don't let your past hold you back. I'm almost like, should I do a new love reading because of this? Y'all let me know in the comments, because I'm not a love reading type of person. I find that I get a little bit too deep for it, and I start talking about like trauma and, you know, wounds that need to be healed. It's like, it's not fun anymore. But let me know if you guys want me to try to attempt to do a new love reading, because that feels like that is good. All right, so don't let your past hold you back. And there could be something here with this too, like the relieved energy. Because for some reason I'm hearing that song, Where Have All the Cowboys Gone? All right. What does she say? I did it, I did it, I did it. I don't know what she says, but I haven't heard that song in such a long time. But y'all could be like, damn, yes, there actually is still good people on this planet. Hallelujah. You know, like I was doubting it there for a second. You know, there's like a big feeling of that when you meet this person, like, oh my God, I've been looking for you. Right? It's like, I didn't realize it, but I have. I've been looking for you. All right. Don't let your past hold you back. What is this? For this full moon in October. What is this? Don't let your past hold you back. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all could have seen how that card just literally flew up and bitch slapped me in the face. Like, what did I do to you? The Devil. Okay. And it's funny too, because this is the full moon in Capricorn. I told you the Capricorn in tarot represents the devil. So it is funny that it's like, it's almost like something is coming full circle. But yeah, the Devil. Okay. Toxic, low vibing energy, guys, right? Restrictions, boundaries, things that, again, have their hooks in you. And this doesn't have to just be people. This can be concepts, mindsets, right? Things that, you know, again, like, I don't want to deal with love, right? I'm good. I'm good on my own. I'm good by myself. And then you meet this amazing person and it's like, I don't know about all that. And it's like, well, you know, again, we all have free will and we can do what we want to, but I do feel like there is something beautiful that could be offered to you. And so Spirit's like, are you going to let what some person in the past did to you hold you back? Because really what you're doing is giving that energy power. That's really what you're doing. is you're saying that you have such a control and power over me that what you did to me is going to dictate how I treat everybody else. That's really giving that person way too much power. So yeah, there's some kind of cycle or negative energy, maybe even a Capricorn, them damn selves, okay? It could be literally a Capricorn. But there is something here where it's like, we don't need to let our past hold us back anymore. We need to see that we're not there anymore. We need to heal. We need to let go. We need to transform, right? And it's, again, it's the energy, the logicalness that comes through with the King of Swords for me, because I have mentioned this before when I've seen the King of Swords. Like, he is somebody that looks at what is in front of him. What is logical? What is realistic, right? Has this person given me any reason to feel like they're gonna hurt me like my past hurt me? Or has this situation shown me anything to show me that, like, it's gonna be the same way? Or even the fact of, like, even if I'm doing the same thing over again, it's like, I don't know that it's going to turn out that way again. We can't, again, judge the past based off the future. Excuse me, judge the future based off the past. I'm all like burpy suddenly, guys. You know what that means? Purging, right? There's need to purge the past, let go of it. Because it is going to hold you back. And the devil is so tempting. And that's the thing, is like, we feel like that's not the case. Like falling into these shame spirals or holding ourselves back or fear mindsets, lack mentalities, right? We feel like, oh, that's something that we would naturally not want to do or not be involved in. But actually, it feels really comfortable to be in that fear mindset. It feels really comfortable to hold ourselves back from newness, because newness brings an element of change, and change can be scary, you know? Give me another one for Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back for this full moon in October, please. Don't let your past hold you back. We have the moon. Interesting. So the moon, Pisces Cancerian energy, but the moon energy could definitely be coming in to highlight some of the toxicity that needs to be removed, right? So you might find yourself thinking about things or processing things, integrating things during this full moon. And it's like Spirit saying, yes, these things are being brought up not to torture you, but to show you that there's something better for you if you would just let this go, or if you would just allow this to just not run the show anymore, you know? And the moon, of course, talks about the subconscious. And we've talked about this before, where there's the subconscious and the conscious. There's a difference. A conscious is a conscious thing. I consciously am going to do this. I'm consciously going to make this choice. But the subconscious can actually be what drives that decision, right? So I look at it as like the conscious energy is like the wheels on the car that creates the forward momentum. But the engine is like the subconscious that runs everything, you know? And you can't have the wheels go without the engine. And so there's something here where it's like, we need to look at the feeling behind the feeling. We need to look at the feeling behind the reaction, right? Why did we react that way? Why did we make that choice? Why did we do that? What was the feeling? What was the driving feeling behind that? Because that's going to help us see the toxicity that needs to be removed. And it's usually like fear or insecurity, right? So there's something there with that, guys. All right. I want to pull some advice for this love thing in the middle, and we're going to use my deck, because my deck is not full of rainbow and unicorns. It's full of real life shit. The Moody Lovers Oracle. Let's see. Let's get some advice and additional messages here for this love situation, this new romantic cycle. Advice and additional messages, please, for this love situation, this new romantic cycle. We have family restrictions. And it was in reverse. Family is impacting this connection. Interesting with damsel, because someone is dependent on this connection waiting to be rescued. Some of you, there could be a toxic connection to family here, where it's like there's a dependency. And this could be on your side, this could be on their side, but I am talking to you, so we'll just take it as it resonates. But there is this energy here of possibly like being too dependent on your family's opinions or your family's support. And maybe there is something here of that, like a financial support or a support or the need to kind of, this could even be community, could be people you work with or just your community in general. Like, how would my community feel about this person? Does your community have to kiss this person? Does your community have to, have the late night conversations or arguments or whatever with this person? Like, no, so there's a need to like not take other people's opinions and let it be the driving force behind something. And of course, this is easier said than done, guys, especially when it comes to family, right? especially when you're in like a very restrictive type of community where we all have to look the same and act the same and talk the same and believe the same. And anybody who's different is automatically looked at suspicious or differently. I understand that there are situations like that. And so it's not just as easy as saying, hey, well, you know, you don't got to be with them, so you don't need to worry about it. But there is something here where that is the advice, is to not let outside factors, outside people, outside opinions come in and disrupt this good energy or be the driving force behind the decisions. You know, well, if my mom don't like you, that's it. I'm not going to be with you. And while, you know, hey, your mom probably does want the best for you, and your mom might actually have a really good radar on her where she is able to suss out bullshit from a mile away. It's true. But also your mom could just be a little smothering and overprotective and feel like if this person comes in, they might take you away, they might change you, they might disrupt things. And so, you know, your mom could be a little bit of a hater, okay? I'm just saying. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody's mom. I'm just saying that could be something here, right? Like when I think back to my family, like growing up, my parents didn't like any of my boyfriends, like none of them. Only one, I think, when I think back. And it was like my boyfriend when I was like 16 years old. And I think the only reason my mom really liked him is because he loved her cooking. And he would like, you know, so every time he'd come over, he'd be like, oh my gosh, do you have, you know, your macaroni salad? And do you have this? My mom would like go out of her way to make it for him. Like she loved that, you know? But other than that, they haven't liked anybody. And so, and not even, you know, some of my exes that were actually really good for me, like they were really good guys, you know, they didn't like them. So had I, you know, made my decisions based off of what my family wanted, it's like, you know, I don't know, there's something there with that, guys. So just keep that in mind with that damsel energy. Don't wait for your family or your community or whatever to make the decisions for you. Okay, what else do we have here? We have Blossom. Friendship is turning into something more. And then it's interesting because we have swords on the bottom of the deck, heartache over loss and mental anxiety. It's almost giving the energy here of like, this person might come into your life when you are a little lost or you do feel a little heartbroken or a little sad or whatever, right? Like this person's like a bright ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. Like it comes through the clouds and it's like, oh my God, where did you come from? You know, you make everything brighter. Everything feels good. This person and you could also have a very strong friendship. That could be the basis of your relationship, is that you do have that kind of like friendship, you know, where you really care about the other person. You really care about their well-being. You care about what happens to them. You care about how they're being treated, and, you know, you stick up for this person, and, you know, you don't let people talk crap about them, or, you know, it's like there's that kind of connection here. This could also just be somebody who is a friend that it's blossoming into more. So take it as it resonates. What else do we have here for this new romantic cycle, please? We have wounded. Spirit calling you out here. I'm not gonna lie, okay? Somebody expects the worst because of their past. And we have that right here. I feel like that's something where this is the advice here. It's like, don't do that, okay? Bottom of the deck, we have true love. This could be the one. No pressure. Yeah, and that's what Spirit's saying, like, you know, this person is not the same as your past. The thing that might be the same is how you're thinking, how you're projecting onto this person, how you're reacting, how you're self-sabotaging. That might be similar to the past, but this person is nothing like your ex. If you ever put this person next to your ex, that not only would they look completely differently, they believe differently, they speak differently, they have different morals, convictions, values, right? This person is not the same as your ex. Unless they are your ex, but we already talked about that. So there's this something here where it's like, again, whether this is your ex or not, it's like there needs to be something here where we're not expecting the worst, because what we do is we actually manifest destiny, right? We project that onto the connection, and that's what ends up happening, because that's what we're expecting, and that's the energy we're putting into it. Some of you, this could also be saying if somebody does, if a big if somebody does come back, there might be a need to kind of start things very slow. Like, let's just be friends. Let's just see if we can like each other as humans first before we really jump in. But that's not for everybody, okay? All right, guys. Let's get some more out here. Just general now. General advice and additional messages. This is a rather long full moon reading. They're not usually this long, but I guess that's okay. Advice and additional messages here. We have the rain, self-care, emotional release, purge. Didn't I say that? That's funny. Cleansing, purification, and hydration. Okay, advice and additional messages, please. For Gemini gang. We have the pine tree, vitality, longevity, perseverance, family strength, tradition, and resilience. And that could be something here where it's hard. It's hard to chop down that tree, especially with the family restrictions here. It's hard to, you know, have somebody different come in, or maybe like, I don't know, guys, maybe for some of you guys, this new person or whoever this is, like they are different than your family. They are different than everybody around you. And that's not necessarily a bad thing to you, but it's like, it's not a great thing to everybody else. There's a need here to see when it's time to, you know, strengthen in family tradition, and when it's time to stand up and say, nah, this is not the way. Sorry. You know? I don't know. There's something there with that. And they're giving me like lots of like old Southern, like weird stuff that I don't really want to say because it's like, I don't want to offend people, but it's definitely giving like a racial type of issue here for some of you guys. And if that's the case, like, you know, that is not the way. Okay. Like, and you might need to be like, obviously you guys have very low moral standards, and these are probably people who act like they have high moral standards, but then they judge people because they have a different color or they have a different religion. It's like that you are a little skewed in your perception of what righteousness actually is. And maybe you need to be the one that breaks that family tradition, you know, of racism or of colorism or of judgment or whatever it is, because that is there for somebody. I don't know. What else do we have here? We have Basil, prosperity, luck, and love, positive changes, fast growth, health improves. This is so weird. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying to get off of this, but I just heard, so you're going to give me brown grandbabies? Well, so what if they are? Okay, there's something like that, guys. I don't know who that's for, but there's definitely something like that. Let's move on. Yeah, there's going to be prosperity, abundance, positive changes coming in. Okay, fast growth. We have bird, freedom, opportunity, messages, growth, and spirit guides coming through. There's definitely going to be some message here that brings a lot of growth and freedom and opportunity. Something also coming in from your spirit guides. Like they're giving you signs, guys, so pay attention. We have foundation, trunk, protection, steady, stability, loyalty, and reliability. Yeah, what do you want to be loyal to? You know, do you want to be loyal to your heart, to yourself, to spirit? Or do you want to be loyal to this devilish energy? Or this whack-ass family tradition that says we got to hate people because they're different than us. Like, that's weird to me. But whatever. Anyways, guys, this reading was strange, okay? But this has been your reading, so I hope it helps, hope it resonates, hope it does something. And I'll definitely see you on the next one. Bye!